Stop! Whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait, Mr. Postman.
He's Mr. Postman, look and see.
Oh, yeah.
There's a letter in the bag for me.
Please, Mr. Postman.
Why's it taking such a long time
Oh,
for me to
yeah.
hear from that boy of mine?
Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the next episode of the Love Mum podcast. Welcome, and thank you so much for listening. If you're finding me here, if you're new to the podcast, this is only episode 5, so do feel free to go back and have a listen to the first 4. But in brief, this is the true story of hundreds of handwritten letters between my mum and myself in the 1990s when I lived in Vancouver in Canada and mum and dad were still here in Kent in England. So let's begin. So I'll start with mum's letter to me, dated Wednesday the 7th of March. And you will hear the rustling of paper because I'm turning the pages as I go, keeping it real. Our darling Joanne and dearest Vince, hope you're settling in well. You've been in your new home a week now. Time does go so quickly. Glad Smoky Cat has taken to it well. On Tuesday night we watched Holiday 90. They took a train from Calgary right through the Canadian Rockies to Vancouver. We can only say one thing about it. It was breathtaking. You are both very lucky to be a part of it. Karen rang me to see how you both were getting on. Told her all your news so far. Karen is still my bestie. We've known each other since we were 4 and we still see each other often, which is lovely. Karen wanted your address to send your birthday card, so I gave that to her. And we had a little chat, and I'm sure she'll tell you all her news when she writes. Dad's on holiday again this week, so he came to the pub with Pat, Mick and me today after work. And I brought lunch for him. Just watched Dallas. It was quite good. You remember April's sister Michelle? She is such a troublemaker. She told Callie that she was sleeping with JR. Mum then goes into a very detailed piece of writing about this Dallas episode, which I obviously appreciated at the time, but I won't bore all of you with it now. Thursday the 8th of March. It's such a beautiful day today. The bees are bringing back such a lot of pollen. Their little legs are wearing their yellow wellies. We have got to do the first disease test today, which is called variosis disease. I don't know if I'm reading that right. Then we have to send a sample off to a bee specialist. Don't know how long he takes to check it, but we will let you know. Has the snow all gone, and what's the weather like now? I should imagine that Stanley Park is very pretty in the spring, and all the parks too. There are so many, I've been busy reading all about them and can't wait to see them. Have you been watching any ice skating? It's from Halifax in Nova Scotia. We've been watching it religiously every day. I jokingly said to Dad, we might see Joe and Vince or hear them shouting, and Dad said, silly moo. It has been very good. The Canadians have been excellent, and we've been willing them on to win. Friday the 9th of March. Heaven. Mr. Tory, old fish face ache. It's his last day at work for 2 whole weeks. He's going to Jordan. I will actually look forward to going to work on Monday morning. This is my mum's boss at the dentist, or was her boss at the dentist. What does it feel like for you not to have to walk to the station every morning and take the long journey by train every day? You should feel nice and relaxed by now, and you should be starting to glow with health. If not, you better come home, ha ha ha. Mum means because I used to walk to the station where we were living, where Vince and I were living at the time in the UK. Which was quite a long walk, but I didn't mind the walk then. And then get the train to London. And I would run up the steps of the station in heels. Couldn't do that now. Couldn't even do the heels now, I don't think. And and then obviously it was quite a long day when you're commuting like that. So no, I wasn't missing that journey. Went shopping with Dad straight from work. Dad found a £5 note in the car park. Good job James was not with us, or he would have seen it first. Anyway, Dad brought me a very pretty bone china mug with honeybees on the outside and on the inside, so it was put to good use. Dad actually does still have this pretty cup, and I do like to use that one when I'm round there visiting. Dad has just come back from the doctor's, had his ears blown out, as he calls it, so he feels a bit better now. I've just watched Kirk Browning of Canada win the gold medal in skating. He was brilliant and good looking too. He's a bit like Boitana, remember him? I do remember the name, but I can't quite place who that is. It is also the first time I've heard the Canadian national anthem. It's a nice piece of music, not boring like God Save the Queen. I bet Cynthia watched it too because she likes ice skating. Well, I think so anyway. Saturday the 10th of March. Shopping day again. Dad come with me today, but he trots me round so fast. We don't have time to have a cup of tea or coffee. He says we can have one at home. We don't have to pay them. Tight so-and-so. Phoned B Dave, Mum means Dave from the B Club, and left a message on the answering phone. It seems strange to talk to it knowing it was yours. I'm only guessing that he must have had our old phone when we left the UK, but I don't have any recollection of that at all. Sorry about all the mistakes, having trouble with misspelling today. Anyway, B Dave said not to do the bee test because of all the young bees and the brood. It might harm them. We have put on the first super today. I think that's like another level of the beehive. And given them plenty of room. I can hear Vince saying, "Your mum does go on a bit, doesn't she, Joe?" He could have said the same about me in my letters. He probably did. James has gone to Cascades in Gravesend tonight to a disco with a girl called Becky. Went to see Sheila and Peter tonight. Had a nice chatty evening. She loved the wedding video and they send you and Vince their love. Sheila and Pete. Sheila was my dad's cousin and Pete her husband. And Pete, my Uncle Pete, he plays the electric accordion and he's in a duo with my daughter, Emma, who sings jazz. So they're a little jazz duo together and yeah, it's amazing. They play in all sorts of places. Anyway, digressing. Well, it's nearly 1 o'clock now. Time to give you a ring. But what a shame we missed you by half an hour. Never mind, we'll ring you tomorrow. Sunday the 11th of March. Not done much today, been very lazy. Watched a film this afternoon, Reach for the Sky. Then you rang. Wonderful to hear your voice once a week. It makes me feel so happy. When we rang on Saturday night, I had a chat to Sheila. This is the lady upstairs who we were renting the basement from. We were sharing their phone at the time before we got ours. She sounds very nice. She said it's so nice having you both there and that you're both very sweet. She also invited us to dinner when we come to see you. Gosh, I wish it was soon. I'm so pleased you got the parcel in time for your birthday. It got there so quickly, we were really surprised. Monday the 12th of March. Beautiful day again. Tommy Tortoise came out again and ate some cucumber, and I gave him a nice wash. This evening we went to the King's Head in Bexley with the Bee Club, 46 of us, beekeepers and friends. It was a very good night, and needless to say, our table was the noisiest. We will miss all this when we go to Yorkshire. When we go, in brackets, question mark. We've had no inquiries about the house since both of you left, apart from the American, and we haven't heard anything more from him. James had some friends round tonight while we were out. They watched a film and drank all of our Coke and Orangina. Was that a drink? Orangina? Sounds familiar. But there was no mess, only empty glasses. Tuesday, 13th of March. Very cold and damp today. Went and had my hair cut today and saw Bill. Bill is the hairdresser that Vince and I used to go to. He sends his regards to you both. He said if there was one place in the world where he wanted to live, it would be Vancouver. And he wants to know if you will still be coming back for your haircuts, Vince. I told him with all his money he could open a shop in Vancouver. Then he would not lose you as a client. Went to a talk on how to identify the pollen loads the bees bring back. Dad was not with me because he's on nights this week, so I went on my own. And of course I got lost, but it was very interesting once I got there. Wednesday, 14th of March. Payday and pub day again. Dad went to the doctors again about his ear and they gave him some more antibiotics, so hope that clears it up. It's been giving him a lot of pain. Poor Dad. As I'm reading this, it's my dad's birthday actually. We had a phone call from a Mr. Yates who wanted to come and see the house, so I rushed around and made it look neat and tidy. And Mum's house was always neat and tidy, so she probably didn't have to do much, bless her. Yes, you've guessed it, he did not come. I'm getting really fed up about the whole thing. I've got this deep feeling that we're going to lose Briardean. This is the cottage in Yorkshire that they are looking at. If we do, I think I'll just give up and stay here. Watch Dallas, and everything is okay, and Callie and JR are all lovey-dovey again. I know it's hard to believe, but JR really does love her. Ha! Thursday, 15th of March, another gorgeous day. When I came home from work, Dad and I went to Hall Place and walked around the gardens. There were so many flowers and so much colour, it was so pretty. We were literally walking amongst the daffodils. Went up to see Dean tonight and had a lovely visit. Friday, 16th of March. Letters and photos came today. James was over the moon with his letter, and he won't let anybody touch it. I love your letters. They're so long and so interesting and gives us such a good insight of the things that you do and see. The photos are absolutely beautiful. Just can't believe all that snow, and your new home looks and sounds really gorgeous. The kitchen looks so big and we are very jealous of the open fire. The lounge looks lovely, really cosy, and I love the ones of Smoky Cat, bless his heart. Thanks very much for telling me about Dallas. April pregnant, she's not even married yet here. We're pleased to hear you've had your hair permed. It suits you much better. I hope poor old Smoky has got over his rabies jab. How wonderful of Wendy to send you some plants. She's very sweet. We're keeping our fingers crossed for both of you for your new jobs. We know you will both do so well. Glad all your money has been transferred with no problems, but it feels lovely to have all that money in the bank. Spend it wisely. Pat came into work today and told me Mick's dad had died. I did not know how ill he was. That would explain why Mick's not been looking very happy lately. Went to another bee meeting tonight at Hurst Place in room 14. Do you remember that room? It brought back a lot of lovely memories. Even found myself staring at the floor and thinking, my little Joanne's feet had danced all over it. Even pictured Miss Mabbott sitting by the window. Yeah, Hurst Place, I used to go to dance lessons there on a Saturday morning. But Saturday morning we were often in a different room. It was a beautiful old manor house with different function rooms. And yes, room 14 was obviously one of them that we used. We always liked it when we were in room 1 because it was absolutely massive. Another parcel is on its way to you both. Easter prezzies. Oh, my mum, she's so ahead of the game, honestly. Well, my darling, we hope you have a wonderful birthday. Wish we could be with you. We'll close now until next letter. All our love, all our kisses, and a big, big hug for both of you. Miss and love you so much. Love, Mum. And then Dad signed it. All my love from Dad. Very glad things are going so well. Miss you. And so we continue with my letter to Mum and Dad. Now, I tended to start my letters with a recap of Mum's letter and then go into my news, my daily news. So I begin to my dearest Mum and Dad. Hello, still missing you both enormously. I guess that won't change, but hopefully it will get easier to bear. I just wish that sometimes I could reach out and touch you or call you just when I feel like it for a long chat. Oh, I'm sorry, I've probably depressed you both now. I'm having a bad day today. I do love getting your letters though, and I love writing them back. I think I must ramble on a bit. I just don't want to miss anything out. Vince said I don't miss anything out. Cheek. You asked if Mondays are as bad here. Well, yesterday was the first Monday I'd had to get up and go to work. Plus, it was my birthday and I didn't want to go. So it was a horrible feeling. I hope they get better. See, we'll hear more about this as we read through. Your letter was brilliant. I like to know everything, and I don't think you miss anything out either. Did you read my letter to James? I hope he wasn't upset about me nagging him. I felt guilty afterwards, but I had to do it. I honestly can't remember what I was nagging my little brother about. I'll have to ask him if he remembers. Nan's letter was really short but sweet, and she repeated herself 3 times at the end, bless her. I'm glad you got the wedding photos at long last. I really miss looking at mine. I haven't got any wedding photos with me. It sounds as though you and Sin had a good old chinwag. I'm really glad you're keeping in touch with each other. At least you've both got a common interest, me and Vince. Poor you, Dad, having a bad ear. I'm glad it's much better now, though. Saturday, 10th of March. Got up and went to aerobics. I have to be there for 9, so it's quite an achievement for me on a Saturday morning. Met Vince afterwards, and we went for breakfast at Café Boulevard in Edgemont Village. It's a really nice little village. It's up near the Capilano Swing Bridge. Got back to find out that Mrs. Wallstone's mum, who everybody called Nana, whether she was your Nana or not, had had a slight stroke, so they were all quite worried. But apparently she's almost okay again now. She was a really lovely lady, really lovely. Got invited upstairs to Sheila and Patrick's for some homemade blackberry pie and ice cream. It was quite yummy. She picked the blackberries down near one of the beaches. She does quite a lot of baking, which I think I've said before. Went to Stanley Park, saw the big bear. Do you remember the one in our photos? I feel quite sorry for her being there, but she seems quite happy. She has a baby bear who is so cute. The mother was laying flat out on her back and wriggling around. It was so funny. I'd love to cuddle her, and she has really enormous paws. I think shortly before we left Canada to move back to the UK, the zoo parts of Stanley Park were moved. The animals were moved to I don't know where they went, but they were obviously moved to bigger spaces because it wasn't really the best environment, to be honest. So although it was nice to see them, I was glad to know that they were moved. Anyway, on with the letter. Went on the miniature railway and saw bison, wolves, and lots of bunnies hopping around. I tell you what, the rabbits that are hopping around in Vancouver were just like domestic rabbits. So I don't know if, maybe 1 or 2 escaped at some point and they've bred, and it, or whether the rabbits over there are just more colourful, I suppose. But yeah, it was lovely to see. That miniature train is such a lovely little ride. Even goes through a tunnel. Didn't get to see Red October in the evening. It was full, so went for a Chinese meal and then saw War of the Roses. It started off well, but turned out rubbish. Yes, I do remember that film actually. It was just a bit chaotic, I thought. Sunday, the 11th of March. Got the bus into Port Coquitlam to see what the area is like. It's probably half an hour's drive in good traffic. Well, when we got there, it seemed like the end of the earth. It was like a ghost town. So we got another bus and got off at Coquitlam Centre, which is a great big shopping centre. Had some lunch and a look around. Bought a toaster. Wow. You need one because their grills are inside the oven and it's a blimmin' nuisance. We planned to look at some open houses today, but without a car it was impossible. Waited nearly an hour for a bus home. Sunday service doesn't change across the world. I hate waiting for buses. I haven't actually cooked a Sunday roast yet in our new place. Mind you, I can't say I've missed cooking it. I don't mind eating it though. Monday, 12th of March. Vince went to work with a man from Cool King Refrigeration. He finished just after lunch because there was no work in. He thinks the guy is stringing him along a bit. He wanted Vince to work a couple of months with him before he would tell him what his wages would be, which really isn't on. If only the union would pull their finger out and find him something. The temp agency called me to say they have work for Thursday through to the following Friday, so that's good. Sat in the garden in the afternoon and wrote a reply to a friend who was called Joe, another Joe. It was really warm and sunny, and from where I was sitting I could see a mountain peak covered in snow. Tuesday, the 13th of March. Both got up early and went into town. Vince got booked in to take a TQ refresher course at night school, ready for his next exam. I tried to find out about a word processing course but couldn't find one for a suitable time. There are plenty more around though, and it's going to be useful for me to have it. In the evening, Vince wrapped up my birthday present so I could sit it with yours. After reading your letter, we realised we'd forgotten Pancake Day. So Vince went over to the corner shop to buy some flour and Jif lemon, and we made some, and they were yummy. Wednesday, the 14th of March. Vince got up early to go and take Cool King's uniform back. I met him in town and we had a look around. Looked at some TR6s, which were very nice, but a bit tatty inside. Went to City Centre Mall, which is a really lovely mall. It's all done up inside like brick houses, sort of. And there are some good shops, especially ones which sell all sorts of cottagey bits and pieces. You would love it. Actually, we've been into a few of those kinds of shops. There's one in Gastown too, run by a lady from Wales. I tell you, everywhere you go, you meet someone who's not Canadian. Met Mrs. Wallstone on the sea bus on the way home. She was so pleased to see us. She says she really misses us being there. Met Mr. Wallstone at the other end, and he told me that CKVU, the TV station, the local TV station, had left a message on their answer phone to say they wanted to interview me. Well, I was pleased, but Mrs. Wallstone was ecstatic. She sure does get excited about things. By the way, she keeps saying how she can't wait to meet the both of you. She gets excited about that too. Anyway, called the TV company from Lonsdale Quay, and I have an interview on Monday. Bought a pizza, one of the ones they make up there and then we went off to buy some more bits and pieces and then came back for it. Anyway, when we got home, they'd put on all the things we didn't want instead of all the things we did want. Blimey. So we sent out for a pizza to be delivered, and it was very nice. Sheila invited us up for dessert. I didn't really feel like going up, but it was worth it. She made chocolate mousse with Grand Marnier in it, with raspberry and loganberry sauce and ice cream. Oh my goodness. It's her own recipe. You do have to say you're leaving about half an hour before you want to go though, because it takes that long to get away. They're really sweet, but they can't half talk, and sometimes it's hard to get away. I think they tend to forget that we're married adults as well. They say things like, "Are you sure you're warm enough? And do you know what bus you're getting?" Vince says it's the Irish in them. He's Irish descent, so he's allowed to say that. Thursday, the 15th of March. First day at work. I'm working at a shipping company called Montreal Shipping, and I'm just sending telexes and answering the phones at lunchtime. Gosh, who remembers telexes? Typing live. Oh, yes. Wow. It's on the 28th floor of Harbour Centre, and the view is just magnificent. It looks out at the North Shore across the water, so you can see the mountains and the Lionsgate Bridge and Stanley Park. Unfortunately, I don't get to look at it while I'm working, but it's probably just as well. It would be a big distraction. Today I spent on the switchboard learning how to use it. The receptionist is a really nice girl called Jennifer, who's about my age. It's quite complicated, but it should be quiet in the lunch hour. Worked 8:30 to 4:30 today, which is quite nice hours, except you have to get up at 6:30 to get there. It is quite nice getting the sea bus to work because there's such lovely scenery on the way. Friday, 16th of March. Spent today on the telex with the girl I'm taking over from next week. It's really boring. Thank God it's only temporary. The telexes are easy to send, but there are 4 copies of everything that I have to distribute, and that part is tricky. Vince met me from work. We went to the cinema to see The Hunt for Red October with Sean Connery. This time we got in, and it is a really good film. Went to White Spot for dinner afterwards. They do great burgers. I'll tell you what, they still do great burgers. Saturday, 17th of March. Got up for aerobics. The fireman was not there, so this lady took the class, and she was a real killer. I think she was hyperactive. She just didn't stop, and she smiled the whole way through. Met Vince afterwards, and we went to look at a TR6 that was advertised in the paper. It's been kept really well and has hardly a spot of rust. It's a red convertible and it's cheap. It's a 1969 model. Decided to buy it. Yippee! But I have to sort out the insurance first. Got to the insurance and they told us we need the registration document first, so we'll have to go back in the morning. Got home and on the dot of 4 p.m. you called. It's nice that you can call us on our own number at last. As always, it was lovely to hear you. I just want to keep on chatting though. A friend picked us up in the evening and we went to see a film, Driving Miss Daisy. It's a really sweet, nice film. Who's seen that film? It really is lovely. I might have to watch that again actually. I can't remember the name of the star, but she's an older lady and she's absolutely beautiful. Sunday the 18th of March. Went to collect the registration document from the guy selling the car and then went off to get our insurance. It's really strange how it works. They put me down as the main driver because of my 40% discount for safe driving. Da, da, da. And then anyone at all can drive the car as long as they have my permission. Also, you get a completely new license plate, which you keep forever if you want. You just take them off your old car and put them on your new one. It was so great to eventually drive this car away, especially after relying on buses for so long. We put the roof down because it was sunny and drove down to Deep Cove. It was brilliant, and it runs really smoothly for its age. I'm not brave enough to try it yet. I want to take it somewhere quiet first, and I need to buy a cushion. Drove to the Wallstones, who all ran out to ooh and ah and wow at the car. They thought it was brilliant. They gave me flowers and cards and a birthday tea and even a cake with candles. The cake was just fresh cream with chocolate inside, a good few calories too, I should imagine. It was really nice of them to do that for my birthday and I enjoyed it. But an important ingredient was missing. You too. And James, of course, but I'll tell him in my next letter. Got home late-ish, tried to get in quietly, but Sheila came rushing out to look at the car, so ended up having a cup of tea upstairs. It was Vince's fault. Monday the 19th of March. My birthday. Happy birthday to me. Had to get up early because of my interview. Vince made my breakfast and I opened my cards. Had a little cry when I opened yours and James's. They were lovely. I was going to ring you, but I would have been rushed and I was feeling tearful, so thought it would make me worse and my makeup would run. But when Vince met me at lunch and said you'd called, I was so upset I'd missed you that I wish I'd just called you anyway. Well, the interview at CKVU was short and sweet. The position is only part-time, 10 till 3, and the position is a bit more junior than I want, but it's a start and it should be interesting. There's also the possibility of it becoming full-time and getting more responsibility. I have to go back tomorrow to meet another lady. Vince met me from work and went out for a meal at 1066 Hastings Restaurant. You would have loved it. You sit in big, high-backed armchairs, and our table was in front of the fire. I had salmon, and it was lovely. Came home and opened my presents, cried again. The clothes are so pretty and fit perfectly. They're just what I would have picked for myself. Thank you so much, and a big hug and kiss. Vince bought me a crystal perfume bottle with a pewter lid. Rang you and was so glad to speak to you on my birthday. It was lovely to speak to James too, but a shame Dad wasn't there. When I put the phone down, I really, really wanted to see you all so badly. Tuesday, 20th of March. Went to CKVU for second interview. They offered it to me there and then, and so I decided to take it. I'll be working in the administration office for the President General and his assistant Gail. At first I'll just be doing quite boring tasks, but hopefully that won't last very long. Had a pretty busy day at Montreal Shipping. I'm so glad it's only temporary though. Wrote to Nan in the evening. Tried to explain about our cellar. If you're confused about that, listen to the last episode if you haven't heard it. It's pretty funny. Mrs. Wallstone called in the evening. She said that Nicola had called there on Monday to wish me a happy birthday, bless her. It was Mr. Wallstone that spoke to her, and he said it was just like talking to me. Nicola was a lovely lady that I used to work with when I was in the music business. Wednesday, 21st of March. Mandy called in the morning to wish me a belated happy birthday. This is another lady that I used to work with when I worked at WEA Records. She had also called the Wallstones house the day before. Had a bit of a natter. She was obviously calling from work as she wasn't in a hurry to hang up. Vince went off to see a refrigeration man in Deep Cove. The company is called Domcom. He's got a position as a helper, which is not really what he wanted, but at least it's his trade and he can gain some Canadian experience until something better comes along. So we're both working now anyway, so let's hope they realise how brilliant we both are soon and give us better positions. Vince picked me up at Lonsdale Quay and we went to the Sizzler again. Thursday, 22nd of March. Forgot to tell you that Vince has been given an enormous van for work, so we are now a 2-car family again. Had a not so busy day at the shipping company today. The people there are really nice and they all keep asking about England. 2 of them were born there. They all keep commenting on my clothes or my shoes. They really seem to like what I wear. Today I was told that I'm always coordinated. Vince got home around 8 p.m. and had quite a good day at work. He'll get some overtime today anyway. It seemed funny to see him come in with grubby face and hands. He's been clean for so long. Spent the evening in front of the fire finishing this letter. I feel like I could keep on writing, on and on. Looking forward so much to talking to you at the weekend. Missing you so much. All our love and kisses and cuddles, Joanne and Vince. Okay, so we've come to the end of episode 5. I really hope you've enjoyed. I'm really grateful that you've listened and that you're taking this journey with me. If you really enjoy the podcast, please give me a follow. Please leave a comment because I love to know what you think. And please tell your friends. And once again, I'm Jo, and thank you for listening to Love Mum. Sending you lots of love. Until next time. Bye for now.